Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at a topic that, if you've ever felt stuck or torn in your heart, will hit home. We're talking about the art of letting go, when to hold on, and when to release a relationship. Before we jump in, if you're new here or if you enjoy these real talk conversations about love, relationships, and personal growth, please hit that subscribe button and join our community. I'd love for you to leave a comment and share your thoughts as we go along. Let's get into it. The dilemma: hold on or let go. So let's set the stage. We've all been there, right? That moment when you're wondering, should I hold on, fight a little longer, or is it time to finally let go? It's that internal tug of war that can leave us feeling emotionally drained and confused. Let's talk about what holding on means versus letting go. Holding on might look like working through challenges, investing in growth, and believing that love can overcome obstacles. But sometimes, holding on means clinging to what's comfortable, even when it no longer serves you. I remember a friend, let's call her Maya, who stayed in a relationship that made her feel small. Every time they argued, she'd convince herself that things would change if she just held on a bit longer. Sound familiar? Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're trying so hard to fix something, only to wonder if you're just delaying the inevitable? I'd love to hear your stories on this, so feel free to drop a comment if it's something you can share so that we can all learn from it. Understanding the emotions. Now, when we talk about letting go, we're not just talking about walking away from someone, it's also about understanding the feelings, the habits, and sometimes even our own expectations. When you're in the thick of it, emotions can blur the lines between what's healthy and what's not. For example, have you ever felt that knot in your stomach whenever you think about ending a relationship, even when deep down you know that it might be the right decision? That's your brain trying to hold on to what it knows, even if it's not the best for you. Let's get practical here. Imagine you're watching a TV series and you know that a character is making a terrible decision. You cringe, you shake your head, but you keep watching because you're emotionally invested. In relationships, it's kind of the same thing. We get invested, sometimes too invested. I invite you to take a minute, maybe right now, to think about one moment when your emotions got the best of you. What was the trigger, and how did you cope with it? Sometimes just acknowledging these feelings can be the first step in deciding whether to hold on or let go. Recognizing the signs, red flags, and reality checks. All right, let's get into some of the red flags and the signs that indicate it might be time to let go. This part is so important because it helps us objectively assess our situation instead of relying solely on our feelings. One key sign is consistent patterns of disrespect or emotional neglect. Picture this: you're always the one reaching out, apologizing, or trying to mend fences, while the other person remains distant or dismissive. Over time, that imbalance can start to chip away at your self-worth. I had a conversation with a listener recently who shared how every time they tried to discuss issues, their partner would just change the subject or even make jokes to deflect the seriousness of the conversation. It was like they were stuck on a merry-go-round of avoidance. Has anyone else experienced that kind of deflection? Another red flag is feeling like you're losing yourself. Ask yourself, when was the last time you felt truly seen and heard? If the answer is not in a long time, it might be time for a reality check. Also, consider how much energy you invest in the relationship versus how much joy it brings you. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. You put in all this effort, but nothing seems to stick. In those moments, letting go might actually free up energy for things that truly uplift you. Let's take a real-world example. I once knew a guy who had a partner that constantly criticized every decision he made. Over time, he began to feel so diminished that he lost confidence in himself. Eventually, he realized that the constant negativity wasn't about him. It was about her own insecurities. When he finally stepped away, he rediscovered his passions and rebuilt his self-esteem. So, think about your situation. Are you feeling continuously drained? Is your relationship giving you more pain than joy? Sometimes, these questions can be really telling. Before we move forward, I want to take a quick break. If you're finding this conversation helpful, please do subscribe to the channel, share this episode with a friend who might need to hear it, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts or your own stories about letting go. Your engagement really fuels these discussions. When to hold on, working through the issues. Now, it's not all about walking away. There are times when holding on is the right call, especially if there's mutual respect, love, and a willingness to grow together. So how do you decide when to put in the extra work? One sign that it might be worth the effort is when both partners are genuinely committed to understanding each other's perspectives. Imagine a scenario where you and your partner decide to seek help, maybe through couples counseling or even just setting aside regular time to talk about your feelings. That shared commitment can be the foundation for rebuilding trust. Let's use another example here. I have a friend, Liam, who went through a rough patch with his partner. Instead of letting resentment build up, they decided to openly share their insecurities and worked on small daily rituals that reinforced their connection. They both committed to change, and over time, they found a deeper level of intimacy and understanding. I ask you, have you ever experienced a time when a difficult conversation led to a breakthrough in your relationship? Sometimes those raw, honest moments are exactly what we need to hold on and work things out. Remember, working through issues doesn't mean ignoring your own needs. It's about finding a balance where both partners feel safe and valued. And sometimes, it means putting in the extra work to repair a broken bond, but always with the honest assessment of whether that bond is truly nurturing for both people involved. How to let go. Practical tips and techniques. Okay, now let's talk about letting go. And trust me, I know it's one of the hardest parts of any relationship journey. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about accepting that sometimes your well-being depends on creating space for yourself. Here are a few practical tips that have helped many people, including some of my own experiences. Acknowledge your feelings. Give yourself permission to feel sad, angry, or confused. It's normal, and it's part of the healing process. Journaling or talking it out with a trusted friend can really help clear your mind. Create boundaries. Sometimes letting go means setting clear boundaries. That might involve reducing contact, taking a break from social media where you follow your ex, or simply saying no to situations that pull you back into old patterns. Invest in self-care. Reconnect with your passions. Whether it's picking up a hobby you love, exercising, or even a small daily routine that reminds you of your worth, self-care is your best friend during these times. Seek professional help. There's absolutely no shame in seeking therapy or counseling. A professional can provide tools and perspectives that you might not have considered before. Reflect on the lessons. Every relationship teaches us something. Reflect on what you've learned about yourself, about love, and about what you need moving forward. This isn't just about closure, it's about growth. I remember when I went through a tough breakup, I found that engaging in activities that reconnected me with my identity was incredibly empowering. I started painting again, something I hadn't done in years, and it became a form of therapy. What hobbies or passions help you feel grounded? Let me know in the comments. Striking the balance. Practical decision-making. So, how do you really know when it's time to hold on and when to let go? It's all about striking that balance between your heart and your mind. One approach is to ask yourself a series of reflective questions. Am I growing as an individual in this relationship? Do I feel supported, respected, and valued? Is there a recurring pattern that isn't improving despite my efforts? These questions can be powerful indicators. Sometimes taking a step back, even if just for a few days, can help provide clarity. Have you ever tried taking a break to gain perspective? Sometimes distance is what we need to see the bigger picture. Also, don't be afraid to lean on trusted friends or mentors. Often, an outside perspective can help validate what you're feeling. And if you're part of a community, whether it's online or offline, share your experience. Chances are someone else has been there too and can offer advice or simply a compassionate ear. As we wrap up today's episode on the art of letting go, remember that whether you choose to hold on or release a relationship, the decision is deeply personal. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Trust yourself to know what's best for your well-being and be kind to yourself in the process. I hope you found these insights practical and relatable. If today's conversation resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and share this episode with someone who might need to hear it. And hey, leave your thoughts in the comments. What has been your experience with letting go? Have you found that stepping away helped you find yourself again? Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, keep growing, keep loving, and remember that sometimes the bravest act of love is knowing when to let go. Take care and see you in the next episode.